Hello everyone, this is Zooc, and today I'm going to be drawing Jason Voorhees. If you do not know who this guy is, then you're probably not from this planet. Jason was, probably is one of the most famous slasher characters in the history of movie making. He first appeared in Friday the 13th, and that kind of sparked his success, so to say. He's been featured in over 31 movies as a symbol, not like actual Friday the 13th movies, because there have been only 12 of those. But he was featured as himself in 31 productions, including cartoons and all that. So he was pretty popular. And the reason I decided to draw him is because I used to love Friday the 13th movies when I was a kid, and I need to watch the new one. There's a new one in 2011. And I just think he's a fascinating character. He is basically, his story is very simple, but he in himself is a very complex character. I mean, hell, there have been psychology surveys and public surveys regarding this character, and people somehow feel that his situation and his motives are in part justified. So I don't know, I think he's a cool character. I mean, as cool as you can get with a slasher category movie, and they're B movies. People that make them are very well aware that they're B movies. Nobody's ever tried to make something more out of these movies than they really are. But I think they're fun to watch. They're just, that's all there is to it. They're just fun to watch. You see people getting murdered, so that's a very common theme in movies in general. So he was created in 1980 and appeared in the first movie, Friday the 13th, also in 1980. Not in his current form, though, because in the first film, his mom was still alive. And if you don't know what his story is, he's basically this deformed kid that drowned in the lake at yeah, you can say that, at Camp Crystal Lake. He drowned because the counselors weren't watching him, and his mom that lived there went on this killing spree, brutally murdering all the counselors that was there, until she was finally defeated by someone called Alice, I think. And in the final scene of the first movie, spoiler, etc., Alice is pulled into the water by Jason. So he doesn't appear as a classic image of a slasher with a machete with his hockey mask. He appears as sort of just a presence, a motif in that movie, if you will. But his mom is the main focus of the first one. And I guess they decided that would be a good idea to continue, and indeed it was, because they made 11 sequels after that, or 10 sequels, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was 11. Anyway, he was very popular, and strange enough, he didn't really get a lot of positive reviews from critics, claiming that the general theme of Friday the 13th movies was more body count than actual plot. I mean, what the fuck would you expect from a B-movie, slasher movie? Saying they're meant to be like that. That's the purpose. It's like saying Human Centipede isn't deep enough or something. Speaking of which, I saw Human Centipede 2 last night. What I said about Twilight, I take it back. The Human Centipede 2 is by far the worst piece of garbage I've ever seen in my life. And it's not because it's gruesome or gory or anything. It's just dumb. That's all there is to it. You should see it, though. Especially if you've seen Human Centipede 1, you have to see 2. But my guess is 10 minutes in, you're going to want to rip your fucking hair out. That's how bad it is. But I stayed through the whole hour and a half, and it was very, very unpleasant. Not because I'm sensitive to what's portrayed in there, it's just because some things just made no sense at all, like no logical sense. It's like people were just mentally retarded throughout the entire movie. Anyway, besides the point, just saying. So Jason appears in the movies following the first one. He is not actually, people sort of sympathize with him, He is not actually evil. He is a slasher, he is a cold-blooded killer, but he's not technically evil if you look at it objectively, because the people that he kills are douchebags. Yeah. So he's sort of a vigilante, if you will, but at the same time, he kills people that have sex as well. So I don't know. I guess that's one element that they decided to put in to not make Jason seem like a hero of some sort. So apparently, Jason isn't really alive and isn't really dead because he drowned technically, but he's still alive. He never speaks. I think he only spoke one line in Jason Takes Manhattan or something like that from what I've read. But usually he's very silent and he'll sneak up on you and slash you. That's his deal. So, anyone that's at Camp Crystal Lake pretty much gets screwed no matter what. You got to stay out of his area. That's the first thing. Secondly, I think I haven't seen all the movies actually, because some were sort of boring and some didn't have him with the mask on. And for some reason, I didn't find him as fascinating when he had his mask off. There's just something about that mask. It's a very iconic symbol already. I mean, people use the mask as a symbol. They've been doing it for years now. The mask is clearly part of the whole image. And Jason himself, as a character, has sparked a lot of pop culture references and all that stuff. So he's very much incorporated into pop culture already. And 6 of the 12 movies have been made into novels. So there's an entire franchise around this character, which should prove how popular he really is. And when they made Freddy vs. Jason, they decided to match these two characters. Even though they're both killers, cold-blooded killers, they wanted to make Jason seem like a more positive character. And after taking several surveys, it was true. People actually were on Jason's side because he wasn't really like killing everyone. They showed him like sparing an animal at some point, or sparing little children, or sparing a pregnant woman. So he only killed like people that he considered deserved to die. And that's fine, I like the movie. There's just something about douchebaggy, arrogant teenagers getting slaughtered it's just pleasant to watch. Anyway, yeah, I like the character. That's basically it. The drawing was kind of short. It only took about 4 hours, so it wasn't that long compared to my usual ones. Maybe even less than 4 hours. But it's not a complex drawing, There's not a lot of fancy elements. It's a guy with a mask and a machete. That's it. But sometimes, you can't make glamorous things all the time. Sometimes I feel like just drawing something simpler because I just appreciate the background history. So what else is there to say? When they first made this character, they didn't plan on him being deformed, but one of the designers came in at the last second with the suggestion of making him sort of look like a mongoloid. I don't know why. They just felt that it would improve his image as a character overall. So they went with that. So that's it. From that point on, Jason became a legend, and Friday the 13th overall, like all the 12 movies together, are the highest grossing horror series in the United States at the moment. So they are very popular despite the negative reviews from critics, but who gives a shit what critics say? Most of the time they just don't do it for money anyway, so whatever. No integrity. I personally think the movies are cool. Yeah, they're just B movies, but Jason is fascinating. He slashes people. He kills them. He's invincible. He doesn't really ever die. He can't really be defeated by anything. I mean, hell, if Freddy can't defeat him, then that's pretty extreme right there. Some mad skills. But yeah, that's it. I'm starting to rant now, so I'm just gonna stop. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you for my next one. Bye bye.